Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're watching AMTV, Alternative Media Television. It is, of course, April 11th, 2018. We have a very dire situation developing in Syria. By the way, you only get it here at AMTV. Visit our website, amtvmedia.com. Subscribe. It's free. Join us. Support the truth. Support the real news. Support Alternative Media Television. Let's dig into it. Donald Trump threatened overnight to shoot down. This is a direct tweet. This is a quote. Russia vows to shoot down any and all missiles fired at Syria. Get ready, Russia, because they will be coming. Nice and new and smart. You shouldn't be partners with a gas-killing animal who kills his people and enjoys it. Now, first question should be, where's the evidence? Has there been a third-party investigation, confirmation of this? No. Were we lied to before in 2013 with the false flag chemical attack in Ghouta that was blamed on Assad and turned out to be a bold-faced lie? It was actually the terrorists on the ground funded and armed by the United States government and U.S. intelligence assets? Yes. So why should we trust a single thing coming from our government officials' mouths now? Especially as they reorganize and play this international chess game with all of our lives. Now, why is Donald Trump talking? I thought he wasn't going to warn ISIS before he struck. He wasn't going to warn America's enemies before he hit them right between the nose. I thought he wasn't going to telegraph to Vladimir Putin when he was going to bomb Russia. Yet suddenly, via Twitter, if this is even Trump speaking, I mean, this is the most powerful man on the planet, he's suggested that not only will he be bombing Syria, but he will be bombing Russia, Russian assets with nice, new, and smart weapons. Now, this is pretty unbelievable to think about the type of technology that the United States government, and more importantly, the military-industrial complex possesses today. Artificial intelligence, autonomous weapons, autonomous missiles, autonomous bombs, drones. Much of the warfare fought, as Einstein once said, World War IV would be fought with sticks and stones after World War III. We are dealing with something so complex, so crazy, so insane that it could send us into a nuclear holocaust overnight. And this is what people need to understand. This is a World War III situation, folks. A World War III situation. This is not just about an isolated country in the name of Syria. This isn't like Iraq in the past. This isn't like Libya. This isn't like Yemen. This isn't like Ukraine. It's not like these other wars Americans and the international community tends to forget about, unless you're the ones being bombed. So what happened last night? For the last 48 hours or so, bombings have started. Israel has struck this part of the world with very aggressive missiles and bombs. Syrians lost a lot of sleep last night as they cleared all international airspace in this part of the world. Not a single commercial jet has been warned not allowed to fly over Syria and Assad's government. What does Donald Trump have planned? But more importantly, what does the dark state have planned behind the scenes as they puppet master with all of our lives? And they continue to lie to us time and time again. Now, again, this is a very complex situation. We need to ask ourselves the question whether or not Donald Trump is really in control here. Is he calling the shots as they extort him, as they violate his legal client-attorney relationship, an unconstitutional act with Mr. Cohn, and pigeonhole them exactly where they want him? There was an image I saw, I don't think we have it, but there was an image we saw yesterday where Trump just looks absolutely terrible. He looks terrible. He looks like he hasn't been sleeping. He looks like he's under a lot of duress. He looks like he's under a lot of stress. As CNN and the fake news media cartel, these giant, massive conglomerate corporations dig trash out of a dumpster, like a dumpster baby, as is the case of the porn star allegations with Mrs. What Her Face Is. Who even cares? I guess she's doing a spread with Penthouse now. She's just, strictly at it for the money. We have the media complex. We have the military-industrial complex. We have the establishment at its core, Republicans and Democrats, all working against the President of the United States, who they've accused, falsely, I believe, in my opinion, of colluding with Russia. Yeah, that's right. They hacked the election together. That's what they want you to believe. They were enjoying themselves out in Moscow, downing vodka shots and hacking the election via Facebook. That's what they expect you to believe. Yet you can't have it both ways. Here we have Donald Trump at this hour, right now, vowing to strike not just Syria, but Russia.
Control
right
the content
between
which they release.
the teeth. This is absolutely incredible. I got a little audio too coming here, Alex, from one of these here. This is absolutely incredible. This is absolutely catastrophic for the international community as they gear us up for war. Donald Trump himself has warned of a major, major announcement, I believe, to follow direct action, of which there will be very, very serious consequences. Vladimir Putin, former KGB, has warned of very, very serious ills as a result. Not only would they target the missiles and the aircraft firing, but any U.S. and allied asset attacking Assad's government. Now, Syria is a very important chess piece in this part of the world. It is very, very important. If they lose Syria, Russia loses it all. Okay, just like North Korea is a proxy for Iran and their nuclear capabilities, this is what the real truth is. This is what the real war is all about. So let's refresh our memories for a second. This is about world engagement, world conflict, total and all-out war with the United States at the helm, its Israeli assets, its biggest, most powerful ally, France, the United Kingdom, good parts of the European Union, that part of the international smorgasbord, against and versus Russia, a billion Chinese, a nuclear-armed Iran, North Korea, and a rising giant as the United States loses control and power over the world. Let's go to a couple other tweets here. Donald Trump, these are direct quotes, not my opinions. These are the facts, just like it is a fact that your government lied to you in 2013 about the other false flag Gouda chemical attack. Just like it is a fact your government and the mainstream media cartel lied to your face about WMDs being in Iraq, of which was the reason for the intervention. Just like they invaded Iraq and Afghanistan, two countries that had nothing to do with September 11th, according to the official 9/11 Commission report, if that's to be believed. Saudi Arabia, notice they've been pivoting, they've been posturing, they're westernizing their economy. They've been paying a visit here to the United States, shaking hands with the new railroads, big technology companies, which are mysteriously being grilled in a mass distractionary campaign today as the Pentagon readies for material war. This is Donald Trump, direct quote. Our relationship with Russia is worse now than it has ever been, and that includes the Cold War. I, by the way, have been saying this for 10 years. There is no reason for this. Russia needs us to help with their economy, something that would be very easy to do, and we need all nations to work together. But then he follows that up with smart weapons, bombs, and a full frontal assault and attack of Russia. Do you understand that it's not about Syria? It's about Russia. What do you think they're discussing right now on Capitol Hill with Mr. Zuckerberg? He's sitting on a booster seat right now. Looks like some kind of alien who can barely speak, a cerebral maniac who's built a company which is its sole job, he says they're not a media company, is basically to data mine you and all information they can possibly garner and then sell that at maximum profit. And believe me, these politicians don't care about you. This is the work of George Soros, Rupert Murdoch, multi-billion-dollar interests. And by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this, yesterday, Rupert Murdoch, one of his offices, were raided overseas. Do you get it? Do you understand the war being played? This isn't about you. This is about oligarchical interests This is about billionaires. This is about the trillion-dollar military-industrial complex. This is about spreading fears, lies, misinformation, and total propaganda as psychological warfare geared to impregnate that seed into the minds of the American people. How could America not respond to a chemical attack engineered? Well, if you look at the evidence, and there's been no third-party verification of this at all, and the attempts by Russia and the United States to investigate have been squelched. This is absolutely unbelievable. Donald Trump goes on. Much of the bad blood with Russia is caused by the fake and corrupt Russia investigation, headed up by the all-Democrat loyalists or people that worked for Obama. Mueller, and notice there was a video. I sent this to you. We're not going to play it. It was John Kerry, where he confirmed with 100% certainty. I'm paraphrasing a bit. We're talking 100% clarity that Barack Obama and the Obama administration were solely responsible for removing all chemical weapons from Assad, Syria, and where these alleged attacks have been perpetrated, places like Ghouta. Wow. What a bold-faced lie. Do you understand that nothing that these people say can be trusted? Nothing that these people, what they say, can be believed. The American people are waking up through technology and our ability to hold a freaking cell phone and understand the lies being presented to us. Which is the same reason we're facing regulation. It's the same reason we are under attack. It's the same reason they want to squelch and get rid of and destroy free speech. If they don't agree with you, they want to turn you off. Don't let that happen. Again, a reminder to click that link below and support us on demand. It's free. It's a free trial. If you don't like it after 7 days, and cancel. There's no contracts. But we need you to support. And most of our content isn't even available to the public, by the way. This is an interrupted transmission broadcast we are bringing live to the world right now. I'm going to go to Chad Booksam here in a minute to give some of his live on-the-fly commentary. I'm going to finish with much of the bad blood with Russia is caused by the fake and corrupt Russia investigation, headed up by the all-Democrat loyalists or people that worked for Obama. Mueller is most conflicted of all, except Rosenstein, who signed FISA, and Comey letter. And by the way, what is Comey doing now? We know what he's doing, Alex. He's on a book tour. Yeah, he's making it rain cash. Yeah, that's the guy that cares about the country. He's out collecting massive six-figure fees or whatever it is, selling a book. That's how much he cares about America. He has sold America out. And this is what you need to understand from a man who supports our president but disagrees with these geopolitical actions taking place in Syria today. And you'll get this nowhere else, folks. Nowhere else. You'll get parroting. Most people that side with Trump will just parrot whatever 110% of the time. They won't think for themselves and they won't think critically. In my view, this is my opinion. What I just listed prior to this were all facts. My opinion is that Donald Trump has been pinned against a wall. He has no options left. They are taking everything out of the book of manipulation and power grab that they can think of. He is being extorted. His attorney personal attorney is under fire. His reputation has been threatened. His family is in the crosshairs. This is how serious this is. And if the dark state gets what they want, we expect, I expect, you tuning in should expect a full conflict and a world war. Chad, you're with us, my man. This is just absolutely unbelievable to break this down in real time, something we've been reporting on for 10 years. By the way, 3,000 plus videos on demand in the Underground Railroad on demand. Start your free trial, support us, get all the behind the scenes discussions, and also the archive, which details this with excruciating facts over the last 10 years. Chad, what are even your thoughts here as we open up for hellfire on earth?
I mean, it is astonishing, and still people don't even believe it. When Donald Trump, he just formally announced that he's going to bomb Syria and Russia via Twitter, And it's astonishing. The mainstream media is not reporting on it really like they should be. And a lot of people, they're still ignoring what's really happening. We have at any moment a major escalation where now we should be worried about nuclear war. The fact that Donald Trump is telling Russia the missiles are coming. The missiles are coming. And it's astonishing that unless it's splattered on CNN and the mainstream media, and this is why alternative news is so important. And it's amazing how they're using Russia, this whole Russian hoax now to like drag us into a war. They used Russia to kill our First Amendment. They used Russia to kill our Second Amendment. Now they're using Russia to take us in to world war. And now Donald Trump is basically cornered. And I've always said his personality is similar to kind of like a lion. He is going to react. And look how he's reacting now. He's getting cornered. He's getting investigated. He's probably getting pinned back by the deep state. But at the same time, now it's like he has to go to war with Russia just to prove he's not a Russian agent. This is where we're at.
He looks, from the photos, there's one in particular, I don't know if we have it, but I saw it this morning, and he looks really bad. And we have to think about it from his perspective. Is this a man about to pop? Imagine yourself pushed into a corner, threatened. All this is going around you. The dark state forces want this war. They're going to use every asset at their disposal to make it happen. What does Trump do here? Does he give in? Does he balk to this? What are your thoughts?
I think the decision's already been made. You know, and it's just astonishing how, I mean, Chris, when the missiles struck from Israel and hit Syria, and we talked about this. John Bolton began. That next day, he began. And now we have warships getting closer and closer to the coast. And by Thursday morning, like Syria time, you're going to see missiles start to fly. And things are happening right now, but it's not even being broadcasted. But absolutely, Donald Trump, he's being cornered, and he's going to react. I mean, I can't believe that we're in a situation where they completely just choked this guy with this whole Russian collusion mess. This was all part of the plan. They're using this. And now what are the mainstream media going to say? That, oh, Donald Trump, he's going to war just to prove that he's not a Russian agent? Or could this whole Russian distraction, see, it's the distraction, creating this big boogeyman, getting everybody riled up that Russia has taken over America now to justify World War III against the Russian people?
There's a report that just came out, Russia claiming that the reported chemical attack in Syria was staged by what they call White Helmets, a U.S.-funded NGO lauded by mainstream media for their humanitarian work. Isn't that nice? While long suspected of performing less than humanitarian deeds behind the curtain. Speaking with Euronews, Russia's ambassador to the EU, Vladimir Chizov, said Russian military specialists have visited this region, walked on the streets, entered the houses, talked to local doctors, and visited the only functioning hospital in Duma where these alleged chemical attacks occurred, including its basement, where reportedly the mountains of those that allegedly lost their lives pile up. There was not a single casualty based on this investigation and report, and not even a single person who came in for treatment after the attack. Now, that sounds pretty incredible. Of course, this is coming from Russian sources. So let's think about this for a minute. Is it possible that the mainstream media could position something, a smokescreen, that was just a total lie, that never even occurred, that wasn't even real? This is tough for Americans to put their head around because, you know, a lot of people, I don't know why, our founding fathers totally disagreed, actually trust their government. They think, hey, the government's there to be my friend. That's why they tax the crap out of me every year. Right? The government would never lie to me about WMDs in Iraq, which they did under the administration of George W. Bush. The government would never lie to me about a false flag chemical attack in 2013 in Ghouta, which is proven to be now a fact. The government would never lie to me about the Gulf of Tonkin, an event that never happened, that helped with our entrance into Vietnam. The U.S. government would never lie to me, even though we have declassified documents like Operation Northwoods, Mockingbird, the list goes on and on, all facts. Is it possible that Russia's right. Again, how can Trump be in bed with Russia, but then declaring war with Russia in another vein? That's not even logic. So it's interesting to see. And also notice this, Chad. I'm sure you've picked up on this. Notice how we finally get bipartisan support. We finally have the support of both Republicans and Democrats for a world war. See who's really pulling the puppet strings here? See who's really in control? Both of these parties want bloodshed.
It is so backwards. CNN and the mainstream media and the left in this country finds it so just incredibly evil if Donald Trump sends a mean tweet. But then they applaud like freaking seals, okay? They applaud when people are going to die, when missiles are going to be launched. They can't understand when Donald Trump might say a mean word, but when missiles are about to fly, he has the bipartisan backing of this entire country, including the left. How twisted and backwards is this?
That's all we need to know. That's all we need to know, right?
Absolutely. The white helmets, this group who is supposed to pull people out of the rubble, they are the ones saying, basically, that it was Bashar al-Assad who did the chemical attack. Who is included in the white helmets? Who are the people? Who are the rebels who are a part of it? They are stating this without any evidence. And the foreign spokeswoman for Russia responded to Donald Trump's tweet saying that he's going to use smart missiles. And you know what she stated, Chris? That he's going to use smart missiles to destroy the evidence in Ghouta.
Which would make sense to me. It looks like that's what the West wants, to take out this part of the country to destroy the evidence. The same accusation that they're making of Assad.
Absolutely. And the UN, where is the evidence? You see now the missiles are going to fly. The evidence is going to be gone. There is not going to be any evidence because there is no evidence. There never is any evidence. This is just an excuse to go to war. Iran has said they're going to back the Bashar al-Assad government. We have Hezbollah, which is a very well-armed militant organization from Lebanon in Syria. We have Russian forces. This is going to get bad, and it's going to get bad so quickly. People have to understand, and that's why we have been sending this message. That's why these events have literally been going in chronological order as we've been discussing it. And absolutely, knowledge is key, and a great reason to join the Underground Railroad to see how this has come to this stage. People need to understand now. Now, we have worst situation than the Cold War with Russia when Russia was sending nukes to Cuba. This is what Donald Trump is stating, that we are in a worse situation than that.
And let's learn from history for a minute. How has the Middle East fared as a result of U.S. policy? What has happened to Iraq and Afghanistan and Libya with Benghazi Gate and the lies there, courtesy of Susan Rice and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and all these people? You know what it gave rise to? Public enemy number one, ISIS. ISIS didn't even exist until it was conveniently needed by the deep state, because these were the same people armed and funded. We go back all the way to Osama bin Laden fighting with U.S. forces for years. For years. Before it was convenient to turn against him. This has created even more terror. This has cost people even more of their lives. This has turned into a full-blown humanitarian crisis, of which we have over 500,000 people no longer with us in Syria alone as a result of these direct actions. Yet they have the gall. Bolton has the gall. These security advisors have the gall to go in there now, and they want to repeat history. This is their intent. I notice oil prices are up higher than they've been, I think, in 3 years, if I remember that report correctly. It's got to benefit Wall Street a little bit. War is profitable.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Iran, obviously, they provide a lot of oil throughout the world. Russia does as well. And of course, this is going to occur. Now, economic war always leads to physical war, but I think we're already beyond that. I think we've already reached, you know, a much worse situation than we can even imagine. Look, Iran and Saudi Arabia now has stated that they are for taking out Bashar al-Assad. Now, we know this. The Crown Prince, he's been preparing ever since the Saudi Arabian purge, ever since he was elevated like this. He was elevated so quickly as Jared Kushner facilitates the alliance between us, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. Things are happening in the background that a lot of people have to understand that the deep state propaganda mainstream media news networks aren't going to tell you. This has been formulating for some time. And you have these globalists like Jared Kushner in the background helping to facilitate this, the arms deal to Saudi Arabia, the purge, all gearing up to ensure that this war, that they're going to completely remove Shia influence throughout the entire region and push back Russia. This is, when I saw Russia come into Syria, I mean, you know, invited by the Bashar al-Assad government, when I saw that happen, I knew that this is the moment where we're closer to world war like never before. Because now we already destroyed, you were talking about, you know, the 500,000 killed in Syria. Think about Iraq. Think about how many people have died in the Middle East? Millions. And then Russia coming in. And we have already stated our claim on the Middle East, right, Chris? The U.S. military-industrial complex already put their flag in the Middle East to take the entire region for themselves.
And let's clarify for the audience, what does Saudi Arabia want? They want to take out and destroy Iran.
Yeah, absolutely. Saudi Arabia, yeah, go ahead.
Let's think about this psychologically for a moment, because I want to play into this a little bit. Why are they telegraphing? Why is Trump stating what's going to be done? Hey, here in the next 48 hours, I'm going to make a major announcement as they posture for war. Why is he tweeting like this? Is this a man who's literally lost it? Or is he not in control? And I said this yesterday publicly. I don't think some of the tweets coming out of the official Donald Trump, real Donald Trump Twitter account are even his when it comes to Syria. But let's play into that for a minute, though. Is it possible he's lost it?
I think his tweet today, that sounds like a Trump tweet to me.
Too.
You know, the Trump missiles, we have, you know, the best missiles in the world. That's like, you know, that's a Trump tweet.
Yeah,
to me.
Believe me,
right? Believe me, right? And I think, look, Donald Trump, he's cornered. He has that personality where he is going to, you know, look, think about who we have leading these countries. I find this very interesting where, you know, look, and Chris, absolutely, we're patriots. We voted for President Trump. We want our country to do well. We want our country to do well. Look at the situation and kind of look at it how it was before World War II. You had these very strong personalities leading the country. Adolf Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, right? These strong, you know, FDR had a very strong personality. Same thing now, you know, look at Vladimir Putin, look at Kim Jong-un, okay? Look at Donald Trump, very strong personalities who are willing, and obviously from the strike in the beginning of Donald Trump's first term, are willing to bomb and go to war. This makes it for even more dire situation because they don't back down. Donald Trump is a problem solver. He views himself, and this is good, this is a good personality trait, as a winner. And the decision's already been made in my book, hence the reason why he's been shuffling his cabinet so quickly and building a wartime cabinet.
Yeah, this has been going on for years, a decade. We've been reporting on the posturing for months now. It has intensified in recent weeks and days. We even have a report here Alex just brought up, and I caught this earlier. Houthi missiles over Riyadh and other parts of Saudi Arabia were conveniently shot down. We've seen this time and time again, which always seems to happen at the time that the U.S., her allies, and Saudi Arabia want to take action. We had to intercept a missile, so now we're just going to start a new war. And again, how does this address the humanitarian crisis? This is what Americans and the international community needs to understand. How is it that the U.S. is going to help this situation, even if they're right? Let's say Barack Obama, it wasn't lies, even though we know that not to be the case at all. They're right. Right, Assad, he's gassing his own people, even though he's winning the war, even though it's illogical, even though he'd have to be out of his mind because Donald Trump just announced he's going to be leaving the area, leaving the country, and removing troops. I mean, only an idiot would shoot himself in the foot and aggravate a beast in the name of the military-industrial complex so they would invade his country. Potentially, I think what is going to happen with ground troops. How does this even help? So what, the U.S. is going to drop more bombs? That's going to solve the humanitarian crisis? These are the same people that are going to displace millions of more people as they encroach and overflow our borders and come into the United States as a result of the bombing raids, as a result of the smart bombs, as a result of the autonomous weapons and the drone strikes and the total destruction of this biblical land.
All right. And that's
How
what
does
they
it
want.
even help?
You know, that's what they want. They want to, you know, the migration crisis was key to getting rid of the nation state. We have, you know, a dark state entity, you know, pushing this New World Order agenda, and humanitarian help for them is war. They're thinking they're doing humanity a favor by launching all these missiles, causing the biggest migration crisis, changing the face of Germany. And what kind of refugee crisis is going to occur beyond this? What if we start going, I mean, once this escalates, I mean, imagine the refugee crisis that's going to occur, and it's going to hit our borders. Another agenda by these globalist deep state entities to do what? To get rid of our border, to get rid of the nation state. So they feel like they're helping humanity, right? Because, Chris, globalism is about holding hands and diversity. This is what they tell us. And I think, honestly, in my view, this is an agenda that is very dark. They use all of these distractions that we see 24/7, whether it's from Hollywood or Russia, right, to beat Hillary Clinton, like you needed to collude with Russia to beat him, and to really corner and pressure Donald Trump. His back is against the wall, being ambushed left and right, and the only time they applaud is when missiles start to fly. That's the only good feedback that Donald Trump gets, when missiles start to fly.
It's a global agenda, and Trump may not survive this.
Yeah. John McCain stated that Donald Trump is the reason why the chemical attack occurred, because he announced that he's going to pull out of Syria. It's because of Trump that the New World Order isn't being able to succeed. It's because of Trump that these children were killed, because he announced and he showed weakness. This is your deep state. This is your establishment. This is your media. When you want to pull out and prevent war, you show weakness and you're causing death. This is what they tell you, and a big chunk of the public believe it for some reason.
Yeah. I would like to ask our audience to do us a really big favor, and it doesn't cost a thing. Please like this video. Share it with your friends and family. Get it out. Email it to 100 people if you can. We really do need your help. We are being censored. They do not want this information out to the public at all. We've been under attack for years. Facebook CEO Zuckerberg, who's testifying right now, who's now outright admitted to doing all these horrible things we've been warning about for a decade, came out yesterday and said they'll be using artificial intelligence to prevent hate speech from airing on their platform. And this is just not Facebook. We're talking all of the oligarchical interests that own these technology companies. And who's going to define that? These same radical leftists that are pushing for war, with bipartisan support right now. Bipartisan support for this war. So give us a thumbs up. We should at least be over 1,000 thumbs up right now. At least over 1,000. Share this video. Get it out. Subscribe on demand. Click the link below. It's free. Support what we're doing. We need your help. Chad, any other thoughts? And maybe we'll go to a couple quick questions from the audience. If you've got a good question, something we didn't touch on, where you want our opinion on it, put it in the comment section. Click the link below. Visit us at our website, amtvmedia.com. That's amtvmedia.com. And we've put together not just amazing media, but a toolkit on how to survive on a number of topics. We have educational platforms on everything imaginable. We really need your support. Chad, any other comments before we take a couple questions from the audience here?
Yeah, I'd love to hear some questions, but just keep in mind to the audience, Donald Trump, there's no backing out now. Donald Trump announced that he's going to have missiles fly, regardless if Russia said they're going to shoot him down. He's going to be attacking Russia because exactly where they are is where the missiles are going to be launched. There's no backing out. Once he announced this, there is no saying, oh, no, talk about a sign of weakness. Donald Trump is going full speed ahead with this war. And I really want the audience to understand what's occurring. And the reason why alternative news is so important, because everybody else, the mainstream media, is not talking about this. And we need your support. We need to get the message out, to get the truth out. So thank you so much. Thumb it up, spread it to everybody, get this message out, and we greatly appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Chad. I'm tired of the conspiracy theories and the rhetoric that the mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, even Fox News, continues to put out. Tucker Carlson has been doing a pretty good job on the Syria coverage, so I'm going to give him some credit. But I'm tired of their fake news. I'm tired of their lies. I'm tired of their conspiracy theories that Russia hacked the election along with Donald Trump at the same time he is declaring war with that same country. I'm tired of it. Let's go to a couple of questions right now. And give us a thumbs up. That very much helps us. Thank you so much. We just crushed through 1,000. We should have at least 2,000. It's a joke we can't get 2,000. I mean, this is the most important video that we have ever put out in the history of AMTV. We've got the archive to prove it to you guys. Give us a thumbs up right now. And more importantly, share it. Send an email to your family member, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever is, and warn them that what is coming. Explain to them they're being lied to. Show them the proof. Show them the evidence. Bring up the examples that we just listed. You know, we are dealing with facts. These aren't our opinions. This is not my opinion. This is not Chad's opinion. This is not Ashton's opinion. When it is our opinion, we'll tell you, hey, this is my opinion. This is not an opinion. This is world war. This is total outright conflict coming from the horse's mouth. Not just Trump, but the deep state that has already pulled the trigger. And why you should care about this is people ask that, why should I care? It's an isolated event. Oh, it's just Syria. I don't care about them. God forbid it hits our shores. This is not an event like previous wars and previous global conflicts. They didn't have access to autonomous drones. They didn't have access to nuclear weapons that are 1,000 times more powerful than they were even 10, 20, 30 years ago. This isn't the Cold War. We are fighting a technological battle. They have micro drones that can go out and basically wipe out entire populations. This is why the New Manhattan Project has nothing to do with nuclear capability, even though that's an extreme threat. It has everything to do with artificial intelligence, AI. And this is what I'm not telling you, they're telling you. Elon Musk, for example, very respected man, tells you that is the most dangerous thing affecting humanity today. And these are the types of weapons they're implementing. Who has possession of those types of weapons? U.S., Russia, China, and God knows who else. Let's go to a couple of questions. And click that like button. Please help us get it out. Send it in a private email. Again, to the people that you care about, let them know. Go into a couple of questions here.
People asked about EMP. Is that possible? Biblical? Is this biblical?
Of course, this is biblical. Of course, an EMP is possible. We've already seen test runs of this. We got a test run in Hawaii. Talked about this yesterday. That was not a fat thumb. That was not an accident. That was a test run. That was an operation. Okay? I think Donald Trump gave the green light on it and the approval. Might have even have been the right thing to do, in my opinion. They are preparing it, engaging sentiment, manipulating the American public, positioning them for war. This is what North Korea is about. This is what Syria is about. It's what Iraq and Afghanistan have been about. It's what September 11th was about. There's a lot you can dig in there. So, anything else you're seeing there? And then we're going to close shop. And we will keep you posted, guys. And again, the way to get 100% current information and news from myself, Chad, and others is by clicking the link below and subscribing on demand. Again, it's free. That way we can get information to you in a timely manner. Anything else standing out before we close shop?
You know, someone asked, when does WW3 start?
All right, Chad, thank you so much. Any other closing statements?
No, we're going to keep updating everybody on this story. We're going to watch it very closely, and we'll get the message out as soon as possible. Join us on demand because we're going to be having more major discussions going into detail about how World War III is breaking out. And it's been going on for a long time behind the scenes. And we have so much more to talk about. And I look forward to talking and answering any questions from everybody.
Yeah,
Join us on demand.
God bless everybody. Thank you very much. Click the link below.
God bless.